Hello, dear friends. This week I have chosen to focus on one of the most beloved hymns of all time, which is Amazing Grace. And as I've studied this commentary for this week, two things stuck out at me. One, that many of these hymns that we have focused on in the past few weeks have actually been born on the waters of the ocean. And second, particularly with this hymn, how influential is the love and nurture of our mothers. So Amazing Grace comes and is born out of Ephesians chapter 1, verse 7. In him we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his grace. It is hard to shake off a mother's influence. John Newton's earliest memories were of his godly mother, who, despite fragile health, devoted herself to nurturing his soul. At her knee, he memorized Bible passages and hymns, and though she died when he was only 7 years of age, he later recalled her tearful prayers for him. After her death, John alternated between boarding school and the high seas, wanting to live a good life, but nonetheless falling deeper and deeper into sin. Pressed into service with the British Navy, he deserted, was captured, and after 2 days of suspense was flogged. His subsequent thoughts vacillated between murder and suicide. I was capable of anything, he declared. More voyages, dangers, toils, and snares followed. It was a life unrivaled in fiction. Then, on the night of March the 9th, 1748, John, at the age of 23, was jolted awake by a brutal storm that descended too suddenly for the crew to foresee. The next day, in great peril, he cried to the Lord. He later wrote, "That 10th of March is a day much remembered by me, and I have never suffered it to pass unnoticed since the year 1748. The Lord came from on high and delivered me out of the deep waters." The next several years saw slow, halting spiritual growth in John. But in the end, he became one of the most powerful evangelical preachers in all of British history, a powerful foe of slavery, and the author of hundreds of hymns. Here are some thoughts that you may not know about Newton's most famous hymn. His title for it wasn't originally Amazing Grace, but Faith's Review and Expectation. It is based in Newton's study of 1 Chronicles chapter 17, verses 16 and 17. King David said, "Who am I, O Lord God? And what is my house, that you have brought me thus far? And yet you have also spoken of your servant's house for a great while to come, and have regarded me according to the rank of a man of high degree." Here is a nearly forgotten verse that Newton added near the end of Amazing Grace. "The earth shall soon dissolve like snow, the sun forbear to shine, but God, who called me here below, shall be forever mine." So join us in this great hymn of faith. In the Methodist hymnal, it's hymn number 378. And we will sing the traditional 4 verses that most people know, which are verse 1, 2, 3, and then number 6.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I
So remember, love one another, take care of one another, and we'll see you again real soon.